How you doing, everybody? This is Jim Buck with Black Series Campers of Southern California out of the City of Industry. And today I'm going to be doing a walkthrough tour of our HQ22T, our biggest toy hauler. So let's get into this, let's get going. So here I am at the very front of the HQ22T because that's where I just love starting off, because this is what people are seeing going down the road. This is what you're seeing out of your rear view mirror. So as always on all the HQ models, we have our standard front end with our downward angle, our rock deflectors, our downward angle, our rear angles. So we have our angles set up there, and this is our diamond plate, our European cut diamond plate. And then the upper half, this is going to be our aluminum composite. So it's a sheet of aluminum, a composite material, and another sheet of aluminum. And then one of the key features we have our LED lighting. We have LED lighting throughout the entire unit, but we have our floodlights. We have a nice bright floodlight bar in the front. We got one on the rear, and we have them on the sides as well, so you can really light up your camping area when you're out there boondocking. So one of the other key features I like is on the front is our storage compartments. Now on this side we have our LP tanks, so that we have our propane. Some of the key features, a safety feature we have in the front of that compartment is we have holes in the base, so that way if there's any propane leak, you can actually allow it would actually be drawn out, so that way it's vented and it's not going to cause any harm for you. Our other side over here, we have a bracket to hold 2 5-gallon jerry cans or extra water, whatever you want to put in there. And then there's extra storage space in here. So whatever camping needs you have, camping items, traveling items, you can put some of that stuff right in here in this compartment. Now here on the front as well, we have our drawbar. Now the drawbar is our frame, or part of our frame, and our frame runs all the way to the back of the unit. It runs the entire length. Now our frame is actually a hot dipped galvanized steel frame. So it's rugged, it's tough, it's durable. It's going to get you into those off-road boondocking places where we want you to go with our Black Series units. Now here in the front, we see 2 items. We have our Jockey Wheel, our 750 model, and then over here we have our poly block, our articulating block. So we have the pivot, we have a swivel, then we have another pivot with our Y-hitch. Now to see more information on those, be sure to check out the other videos on our YouTube channel, which is Official Black Series US channel. And so I cover these a lot more in depth, so you can get more information on them. So here we have our 2 plugs. We have our 7-pin plug. That's going to plug into the rear bumper area typically on your vehicle. And so this is going to be running your lights, your marker lights, your signals, reverse lights, all that. And then we have an Anderson plug. The Anderson plug is a 50 amp plug, and it connects to your battery. So this is going to be a way to charge your battery by plugging in another portable solar panel. So you already have 2 solar panels, 150 watts apiece up on the roof, so you got 300 watts total. And then if you tie in a third solar panel, that way you would have even more power to boost and support your battery powers. So another feature here on the front of the HQ22T and all of the Black Series models is our mechanical handbrake. So here we have a mechanical handbrake. Okay, so now I've released it, now I've set it, and this is an important feature. It's a key feature. So that way if you're disconnecting, doing what you're going to do when you're at your camp spot, you can use this to set your brakes. Now, do not rely just on this brake to keep your vehicle from rolling. You do need to use wheel chocks, front and back, okay? Not just one. You want to use front and back, so that way there's no movement. Don't just rely on the brake. You can set the brake, but only for temporary things. Now, another thing I like to talk about is the chains. Now, these are some heavy-duty chains that we have on our units, and I want to talk about just really quickly their use of them. Now, many times I will see people and they will have chains, and the chains will be in alignment. The idea of a chain is if something happens and something breaks away, then the chains are supposed to help catch what's falling. And if you're in alignment like this, it's not gonna catch very well. So what you need to do is you need to crisscross them. That way, it'll catch into it, it'll pull into it. If I do this way, see the chains go all the way up. So crisscross them, so that way you have the chains doing the job that they're intended for. So as we come around the first corner, heading towards the entry door side or the passenger side of your vehicle, we have, you look down here, we have our rock guards. The idea and the purpose of the rock guard is to help protect the edge of your unit. So if you're really like getting off road, really into that boondocking experience, if you run into a low point, this is gonna protect this edge, okay? Now you may bend the rock guard, but that's okay because that is its purpose, to protect the edge and sacrifice itself and absorb that impact. Down below that, we have one of our legs. We have 4 stabilizer legs. Now these are not lifting legs, they are stabilizers. So once you get where you're gonna be, you kind of get yourself leveled out a bit, you're gonna put down your legs to help stabilize the unit to keep it from rocking and rolling and moving around while you are camping. As we move along, we'll go into here, we have our first compartment. In this compartment, we have our pull-out kitchen. We're gonna pull this out here. Now, there is a table. We got this that comes out. It's a little prep table. You can use it, prep your food, whatever you need to do on it. But the really nice prep table is the big one. The big prep table, it's got a little support leg here that comes down, holds into place. This is a great area, prepping your food, serving food. You can even get a couple bar stools and maybe chairs that are a little bit higher, not necessarily bar stools, but you can even use this area as an eating area if you would like. So this is a really multifunctional surface, which is really great when you're out boondocking. This is what we're talking about when we say to get out there, find your adventure, and reimagine your destination, so that way everyone can be involved with the camping experience. Again, you don't have somebody locked up inside slaving away, doing all the cooking. So we have, speaking of cooking, we have our two burner stove, and it's got an air guard here, so that way, or excuse me, not air guard, a wind guard, so the wind, it can block the wind a little bit, so you have a nice surface area where you can put some larger pots and pans and stuff like that. It's not too crowded, and we have some great cooking flames going on with this particular model. We also have our sink, so this lifts up. This is going to be a gravity sink. So there's an opening underneath, there's a hose that pulls down. And so that way, as you're washing or whatever you're doing, you have a bucket down there. Like I said, 5-gallon Home Depot bucket, Lowe's bucket, whatever bucket you want to use underneath to catch the water. So that way you're using this. So you're not using up your gray tank space with the water that you're using out here in your outdoor kitchen. So here on the front side of the pull-out kitchen, we have a utility drawer, so you can put your utensils and stuff like that. We have like a little storage drawer here, and in our storage drawer, it's just been placed in there, is our water line hookup. So I'm gonna show you that real quick. So on the front, you have a quick connection right here. And then if you look underneath too, you see 2 quick connects. You see this kind of gold one here, and you see this silver one here. The silver one is the water quick connect. The gold one is going to be your gas quick connect. So if I open up this compartment here, I'll just show you this hose right here. So here is the gas line. So the gas line won't come out this way. Again, there's an opening in the bottom. You go through the opening, you plug in your gas line, you plug in your water. Now, quick tip for how to stay dry, or dry-ish, while camping. When hooking up the hose to your kitchen, hook into the dry side first, then hook the second side underneath. Because if you have your water pump on and you plug into the wet side, you're gonna start shooting water everywhere, okay? And you wanna save your water, especially if you're boondocking. So plug into the dry side first, or shut off your water pump and plug into there. When disconnecting, you wanna disconnect from the wet side first, because the same thing will happen, right? If you do it from the dry side, you start shooting water everywhere, okay? So just a quick little tip, help you out, try to keep you dry, save your water. Okay, one last tip before we put the kitchen away and move on. The sink right here. Now, if you noticed, Once I opened it up, I lifted it up. And if you can see right here, if I were to close the kitchen right now, obviously I would dent or break the sink. So before you put your kitchen away, always be sure to lower this down. Now, that's not the only part that you need to make sure you put away, because underneath, if we take a look down here, is the pull-out hose. This is the drain hose that's down here. So this is where your bucket would be. Now again, if I were to close it, this would get caught up underneath, which would break the drain that comes off of the sink. So be sure to just very gently push that up in there, get that out of the way. Once you've lowered your faucet, you put the hose away, now it's time to put the kitchen away. You gently just push it in till it latches in place, and then you just close it up, and you're ready to move on. So from the front compartment here, if we kind of look up a little bit, we have our Eurovision dual pane windows, which helps with our R16 factor for our insulation factor. And again, in our walls within the unit, on the top, on the bottom, in the walls, we have an expandable polystyrene foam in the walls to act as our insulation factor. And the windows are a key part of that as well because of the dual pane. So while we have cold inside, we're gonna have warm inside, which helps to combat getting condensation on the window on the inside as well. As we look up a little bit, we also have another one of those floodlights I was talking about. And if we go even a little bit higher up, we have an awning. So all of our units have awnings, nice large awnings, cover up our areas so that way we can enjoy our camping experience, get some shade, maybe protect us from the rain a little bit, just depends on where you are and what's going on. In our other compartment here, we got another compartment. Open this up. It's our storage compartment. So we have just some of our items. We have a wheel chock, we have our power cord. Here's the Y piece to go for our poly block. And then we also have right here in the front, we have a bubble level. So that way it kind of helps you along so you can kind of figure out whether your unit is level or not before you set your stabilizer jacks down or whatever it is that you need to do to cover your caravan. So now we're up to the door. So I'm just gonna very quickly show you a couple little features of it real quick. So to lock it, to set our lock, you push it this way and it sets 3 pins. To open it, you do it this way. Now I'm talking about these locks right here. There's pins right here. When I flip it, you can see the pins pop out. Now, for more information, for more detailed information, be sure to check out our YouTube channel, Official Black Series Camper US channel, and I go into full detail about the door, okay? I would like to, again, show you one other feature, and that's for separation of the screen from the door, and that's this lever here. If I push up, that releases it and allows us to close it over. Oh, I got the pin set, that was my mistake. Set the pins. So you can see the pin secures the door really well, and that's the nice part. If I don't have it secured, you can see it's a whole lot looser and there's a whole lot more play in it. And we also have this nice cover. It's a kind of a security screen down it, so that way you are protected. You kind of keep animals out or keep animals in. And then the lock is actually on the screen itself. It's not on the door. But again, for more details and key features about the door, be sure again to check out our YouTube channel, Official Black Series Camper US channel. So another little thing, couple things I'd like to show here. There's a switch here, a black switch. The black switch is going to be for our steps to come out and for our steps to go back in. And then we have a switch right here. So when I flip that on, oh, we got our battery off here. When I flip that on, you can kind of see that there's light here, okay? Now, one of the nice features, and I don't know if we'll be able to pick it up, but there is a sensor right here on the screen. And if I close the screen, and I don't know if it'll pick it up, you can kind of see a little bit of the shadow going off and on. So when you're leaving, if you're leaving to go into town or whatever you need to do, the nice part is you can turn on your step light, so that way when you open up the door, you have a light for your entry into the unit and you're not stepping in blindly. So as we're going along here a little bit more, we look up. Here is one of our exterior speakers. Again, it's a marine grade speaker. And we have another floodlight out here, one of our LED floodlights. So you can be out here, you can have some music playing, enjoying yourself, or you can have music playing inside, whatever you'd like. We have a hook right here. Now this hook is for the door, and I wanted to wait to show this to you. So on this right here, there's this latch or this hook. So when you come around right here, this is gonna hook onto right there. So that way it holds the door open. The door's not closing on you while you're out doing stuff. And you can have the screen closed if you wish. As we come along, we have a couple, this is a marine grade 12 volt plug. It's a cigarette lighter style plug. And then this is a GFCI plug. So this plug will only work if you're plugged into a shoreline or a generator. And this one will work off of your battery. And then right here, this is a table. Now this is 2 locks to it, okay? It's keyed alike. That's usually what keeps it closed. I went in and I unlocked it earlier. But this is just like a little universal table. You can use it to prep food. Maybe you're already using up the entire prep table on your kitchen. You could use this to prep something. You could use it, there's a couple of like cup holder areas right here, little rings. You could maybe set a crock pot here and you can plug in, have dinner cooking outside, whatever you want to do. It's just a little universal table. You can do whatever you'd like to do with it. And just make sure that's secured. Again, this is usually locked up. And if we look down, we look underneath, we have our independent suspension. And our independent suspension is what can get you off-road into the boondocking areas. That's what's gonna help you reimagine your destination. The independent suspension with the independent swing arms, dual shocks, we have the heavy duty springs, limiting chains to keep the whole thing together, so that way you're not gonna have any problems when you are off-road, but you need to make sure you are maintaining all of your systems and checking it over. So here at the back of the HQ22T, we have our door, which obviously creates our ramp. Now it actually has a dual purpose. Well, actually a triple purpose. 1, keeps everything closed up. This is gonna be our living space. 2, it comes down and it works as a ramp. And then 3, once we have all of our toys offloaded, we actually can raise it up and use it as a patio area that we can actually cover up with a tent. And then that is all enclosed and locked with our handle here, with our lock that can be locked. And then on the back of our unit, we have our spare tire. Now this unit only has a single spare tire, and we use a little bit smaller. We use a 235/75/15 tire on the HQ, on our toy hauler models, on the HQ19T and in the HQ22T. And as we come down, we also have our recovery hooks. So here you see down here, we have a nice big recovery, meaty, beefy recovery hook on one side, and we have one over here. So that way, if something happens, if you're getting into an area, maybe you get caught up into a bog or something, I don't know where you are, but instead of hooking into a frame or something you shouldn't be hooking into, we have recovery hooks. So that way, if you have to be pulled out backwards, you have a strength point to hook into. So here we are on the back side, or the driver's side of our HQ22T. And one of the features we come across is an outdoor shower. You've been out, you've been riding, you've been at the beach, you've been wherever you are, you're out boondocking, you're dirty, you don't want to necessarily step in. We have an outside shower with hot and cold faucets. This would pull out. You can even use this to kind of help hold it in place if you need to. But it's a great little place to come, rinse off, wash off, and take care of the dirt and dust and whatever you have on you from your day's activities. As I continue along, we have another 12 volt marine grade outdoor plug. So this is gonna work off your battery. So that's right here. If I can get the cover off here for it. There it is. So that we have another 12 volt. Again, these are marine grade plugs. As I travel up here a little bit, we have 3 different caps. Now we have a black water tank, a general water tank, and a drinking water. Now let's talk about these two. Your drinking water, 16-gallon tank. That's gonna go through your triple filtration system. That's gonna be your water spigot that's up on the counter that we're gonna talk about a little bit later when we're inside. The second one, the general water tank. That's our big main tank, 63-gallon tank. That's gonna supply water for your shower, inside and outside. That's gonna supply it for your toilet, for your kitchen, your outside kitchen, your sink in the shower area, all that stuff. That's your general water, okay? Then you have your black water tank fill. Now this one, you're only gonna utilize this when you are dumping your tank, okay? Again, you have two 26-gallon tanks. You have a 26-gallon gray tank for your gray water. Again, that's gonna be your faucets and your showers. And then you have a 26-gallon black tank. That's gonna be your solid waste coming from the toilet, okay? So you need this to flush out your black tank. So when you are hooked up to your discharge and you are dumping your tank, now the discharge is gonna be right here. If you look, we can kind of see down. You have the black valve and the gray valve. So the black valve is obviously for your black tank. The gray one is for your gray tank, all right? Soapy water. So you're going to dump your black tank first, all right? And then after that's dumped, you're gonna close that valve, you're gonna open up and you're gonna drain out your gray tank to help wash things out. Now, while the gray tank is dumping, you're gonna take a garden hose, your black tank style hose, over that you're gonna find at the dump station. You're gonna put that in this tube and you're gonna backfill the black tank. You're gonna fill it back up and you're gonna rinse it out until you're able to clean your tank. And that is the purpose of this black tank tube right here. So continuing on, as we move on past our water fill, we have our hot water tank. So this is our cover for our hot water tank. Here, I'll show it to you here. Flip this around, there we go. Hot water, 6-gallon propane run hot water tank, okay? Next to that, we have our 30-amp plug. I showed you the cord earlier on the other side of the cabinet. You're gonna plug in here and then you're gonna plug into your shore power, plug into a generator, whatever you need to generate the power you need. And then we have the back side of some storage here. And there's also another breaker box back here. And so this is for stuff that is powered when you're plugged in. So it looks like your AC, your inverter output, water heater, GFCI, stuff like that. So that you have other breakers. You don't have just the ones that are inside. So there you have it, the 28-foot, 6,500-pound HQ22T by Black Series, our biggest toy hauler that we got out there. You can fit your toys, fit your friends, fit your family. You can have a great fit life out there while you're camping and boondocking out in nature. Because with Black Series, we want to help you reimagine your destination. So get out there, find your adventure, and do what you can do with Black Series campers. So again, this is Jim Buck, Black Series Campers, Southern California, out of the City of Industry, with the HQ22T saying, have a great day, we'll see you out there.
How you doing, everybody? This is Jim Buck with Black Series Campers of Southern California, out of the City of Industry. And we hope that you enjoyed the last video of a series that we just got finished watching. And what we'd like to do is we'd like to ask to make sure that you please like and subscribe to our channel so that way you can see all of the videos that are coming up in our series. So make sure that you get out there, you smash that bell up in that corner up there. And again, this is Jim Buck with Black Series Camper. So we hope you enjoyed that video. Take care, everybody. Have a great day.